Hello everyone, welcome back to Not Another Marvel channel. I'm here with my pals Aaron and Robbie, here to talk spoilers for Fantastic Four First Steps. We saw that a couple of days ago. I might actually get you guys to come around a little bit more so that you can look at the camera a bit better. Nice. How you guys going?
Good.
You've seen it. We've seen it twice.
Seen it twice.
You've seen it once.
Yeah.
Shall we just go through some general thoughts on the film?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd be very interested to hear what you guys think after the second time around.
Okay, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I think it didn't change heaps for me. I think the things that still stand out for me are one, how fantastic it is, or fantastical. Like it does feel like sci-fi in Marvel. Like,
Yeah.
never seen anything like that sort of stuff before. And two, I sort of do like how understated it was too. And in terms of understated, I mean, sort of, there's a few things like Pedro Pascal's performance as sort of the really, he got the burden of the world's safety on his
He
shoulders.
really is the smartest man in the world.
Yeah, he like that, but he just played that throughout the whole field. There's like a tension on him that just comes out into pieces.
Yeah.
So that, and then I feel like Herbie as well. Could have been a Groot, or could have been a Grogu, or
Yes.
could have been like
Yeah.
Doug from Up. They could have really made him this larger than life.
Yeah.
But instead they just sort of let him do his thing. It didn't feel like they went too full on in anything, which I sort of really liked. Yeah, so those are probably the two standout things for me. Which I really liked, yeah. Which didn't change much.
Yeah.
In the two, yeah.
What about you, Aaron? Your sort of initial... You've had a few days to think about it now.
And seeing some of the other reviews come out. I mean, it's overwhelmingly positive.
It has been.
And I think that is for very good reason. I think in general, you come away thinking it's a movie that I can go and watch and not have to really question too much.
Yeah.
What is that? Who is that? What do you mean by these things? And so you can kind of almost, I want to say, relax in that movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of fulfills the storyline as a standalone.
Yes, yeah, really.
And you kind of you're kind of satisfied at that. And I think that's been missing a lot from the most recent kind of run, right?
Yeah.
The latest phase.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's not a lot of... Well, you don't need to do any homework
No,
to watch this film.
Yeah.
And so I think the setting of Earth 828 really helped
it doesn't do that.
this film to be really quite standalone.
Yeah.
It is interesting because I almost went in expecting it to be this huge thing that ramps us up to Doctor Doom. Because it's pretty much it, right? Like there's this and then Doctor Doom.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially in terms of just what we saw in trailers and seeing Galactus in it, seeing a few of the major plot points. Marvel's way is usually to get that done in like the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then dive into the meat of the story.
Yeah.
So I was actually surprised that they just went with a really clean cut
Yeah.
story.
It was done quite well, right?
Yeah, well-
Because then that's always the pressure point. How do you, from a visual perspective, explain the origins without it being... I mean, this is now the third time.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Fourth time if we count
The old 1995...
I don't know if you want to count that, but we're technically saying it's the third official major release.
For poetry, you could say four.
Yeah,
Fourth.
that's true.
Yeah.
And it's always one of those things of like, do you want to rehash exactly the same origin? Do you tell it in the same way, right? Because you can't exactly change the lore of how it happened. The comic book kind of serious guys would go absolutely berserk. I know. But you can't do it in a way where it's like, well, I've seen this before.
Yes.
I've
For the
seen-
third time.
For the third time,
Yeah.
I've seen how they do this. So
Yeah.
It's like the approach of Spider-Man. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows the origin. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
And I thought, the opening sequence doing it on that show, on the Ted Gilbert show.
Yep.
and to retell it like as some sort of like special TV special was a smart way of retelling the origin without telling the origin.
without just being exposition.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, cool. Let's talk about the cast because I remember coming into when I heard Pedro Pascal was Mr. Fantastic.
And so, what's one word to describe when you heard that? What's one word to describe what you thought?
I was like, oh, that's it.
That's the word.
Yeah, because he's Mandalorian. Like I'm a huge Star Wars fan as well, and I've watched him throughout the Mandalorian. So that's how. And I see Pedro Pascal.
Okay, so you saw the Mandalorian. Well, what did you think, Robbie?
That Wonder Woman show.
Actually, you thought Mexican.
Yes.
1984.
I thought Last of Us.
Okay,
Right. So straight away,
Yeah, he's in everything.
he's basically in everything.
He's really in everything. Yeah.
And we kind of talked about this off camera before, but my thoughts were like, are they going to make him shave?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I've never seen Pedro Pascal without
Clean shaven. Yeah,
shaving. So
I mean, he maintained his look. He's managed. It's much better than contract, right? It's just he's gonna show up as Pedro Pascal. Yeah, can't do anything to his look.
Oh, so what did you guys think of him as Reed Richards?
I mean, to touch on kind of Robbie's point about, this character Reed Richards, he's the smartest man in the world. He's got the weight of basically survival on his shoulders. That's pretty. How do you portray that type of tension, but also the superhero, but also the kind of the complexity of he's a dad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And for those that really know the lore of the comic books, the dynamic between him and Sue, because you could say it's Marvel's first family as a superhero unit, but for those that really know the comic books, they know that there's always been this tension between it's his brain that gets in the way.
That's right. Yeah.
Essentially, it gets in the way of his family, gets in the way with his marriage, and whatever he plans to do. You've seen that in Civil War, you've seen that in the Ultimates, you've seen that in all these different storylines. Everybody touches on the fact that it's his brain that gets in the way. So to pull all of that off and all of that tension, I thought he did a really fantastic job.
Yeah.
Well, I think he did a really great job of being able to kind of portray someone that's internally troubled,
Tortured almost. Yeah.
somewhat tortured by his own intelligence, but able to also kind of take the lead of it. He didn't fall behind and kind of was like second or third rung behind Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah.
Or, like it just quit. Like he was still up the front. You knew that he was the guy.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's that one scene where you can see where he was saying it was ethical. It was Remember how he can already tell he was already calculating that maybe this is the right thing to do. To give Franklin up to, and how damaging that was, or how hurtful that was for Sue.
Yeah.
When she said like when you're you know it's me.
Yeah.
And I like how he portrayed Reed Richards. When he said things like he has to think about the worst case scenarios. He dreams about the worst case scenarios.
Yeah.
In order to protect the ones that he loves, and I think that fits Reed Richards to the core. So I think Pedro Pascal did an amazing job as Reed Richards, and just his intelligence. Yeah, he's always calculating and trying to foresee ahead of time how he can solve problems, and I think that's really good.
And he didn't sort of overplay it in any other way either. He wasn't sort of the alpha, like let's go and do this or anything. He wasn't sort of the big super like smart guy. I'm going to tell you about how smart I am,
Which isn't his thing, right?
Yeah,
That's how he plays it out.
which I really like. How with almost every character they give them one or two moments, one or two lines that just show you what the whole ethos of this character, what's driving this character, which I think is really, really cool. And like you say, that whole I have to imagine the worst that I can protect everyone from it, and that you carry that.
So I often think about what would the dynamic be between Pedro's character or portrayal as Reed Richards, and then also say like a Robert Downey Jr. Or a Chris Evans or a Chris Hemsworth, like because he's now in that world, right? So how would his character play off against those other already established characters, because in the comic books, and we keep going back to the storyline, is like he's on par with those guys.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
But from an intelligence perspective, he's just as confident, or you could almost say somewhat arrogant, in his ability to be able to solve something. And it kind of does work when you put the Robert Downey Jr.
Dynamic and
dynamic with the Chris Evans Captain America style character. It all kind of actually really does.
It would work really well, yeah. I guess we'll find it in Doomsday.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Oh, will we?
Or will we? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. How did you guys find his elasticity and all that effects?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because there was one thing I was like, they didn't do it right in the 2005 with Jessica Alba and Ewan Griffith. That whole stretchy thing looked bad.
I mean, how do you like? Yeah, I don't know if you can portray that in a way that makes sense.
Stretching.
Yeah. So like there's bones, there's muscle.
That's right.
I make it look like Gumby.
I guess one of the best ways you can kind of portray it is by not doing it too much.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is what they did here.
So which is what they do, right? So you don't want every second frame to be about, hey, this guy stretches across that screen. Let's really make use of the fact that we shot this in IMAX.
Yeah.
And stretch from top to bottom, left to right. And it's like,
That's really gimmicky.
it's really gimmicky. And I really thought it was good that they didn't play the gimmick card with a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
I was thinking about this before, and I'm like, okay, if we're talking about effects and we're talking about them gimmicks, we never heard Johnny Storm say "flame on."
Flame on? No. Only in a toy.
Only, right?
Yeah.
And so, if this film was made 20 years ago, this exact film was made 20 years ago, there would be punchlines everywhere. There would be so much cheese in that. You know, it's just, and maybe that's a sign of the time where it's like, you want to get to the crux of what makes a really good film, which is the storyline, which can you complete it? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that they took out easy, quick gimmicks and wins.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It really was his superpower, his brain, not his stretchiness. And the reality, how useful is that?
Yeah,
The stretchiness?
Yeah. Like, it compared to the power that they displayed for Sue, the Human Torch, and the Thing.
Yeah.
Is well, I mean that was proven in that little clip with when we go back to the way that Reed Richards was portrayed. Thinking of Emily Blunt's husband.
Oh, John Krasinski.
In that one scene with the Illuminati.
Yeah.
He tries to be stretchy.
Nah.
That's Claudia.
And she just spaghettied him.
Yeah. But we're like, keep it gummy.
Yeah.
That was probably like one of the first times where, and maybe we'll touch on this later on, but it's like fan favorites. We were talking about Pedro being cast as Reed Richards. For the longest of times, it was John Krasinski.
Yeah, it was.
And it was Emily Blunt
As the Invisible Woman,
and it's like those two. Yeah. And then when you talk about like what are the thoughts around Pedro kind of casted it, I think it was an uphill. He was set up for an uphill battle.
Yes, he was.
I guess the choice, the fan base, but he did a great job.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, and I think the uncertainty there, like I think, like you say, you sort of compare him to the other lead characters in Marvel, and he holds a lot more uncertainty as well.
Yeah.
And so it has to, right? Because he has to hold all these different positions.
Yeah.
Of all these different what if, what could this be, what do I need to prepare for? So you can't be certain about everything.
Yeah.
Which I really liked.
Yeah. So we're all pretty happy with Pedro.
Yeah.
What about Vanessa Kirby as Invisible Woman?
She was really good.
I think she was a standout in
Yes,
this.
I think she was. Yeah. I think even like sort of, they're quite subtle with it, but just making her sort of the cornerstone of the family, the foundation.
Yeah.
Every time there needs to be an answer, she was the one to answer.
Yes.
Which is a cool little touch.
Yeah.
I thought they did her really well, sort of emotionally and sort of from a strength point of view. It felt like that's the story they told her.
Yeah. She's super powerful, which I really loved.
I
Yeah.
think she's too foul.
I don't know. I think looking at the comic books, like she's been able to create force fields that could hold, like rubble, like the amount of a building, for example. So I don't think she was too powerful. I think she was just right.
Just right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really interesting one because it felt like they amped up the powers of all of them.
Oh yeah.
But in saying that, for them, if they're the superhero for the world and they'd had 4 years to hone their craft, maybe that's where they end up. And the reality is using her powers to fight off
Mole Man.
the end villain, Galactus, did cost her life. So that's a fair trade-off.
I think that's a fair trade-off. Like she exerted all of her energy and strength.
We've seen that a couple times in the books, right? Like that's actually been there where like she pushes herself to the point of anyone with a telekinetic kind of power base.
Yeah.
You push beyond a certain point and then that's the tipping point.
Yeah.
But I think that the thing about gimmicks and not overplaying it, they didn't do the nosebleed thing.
I thought they were going to do the nosebleed.
Yeah, I thought that too. But
That was Jessica Alba. Didn't that happen with Jessica?
Yeah.
It reminded me that when she died. This is a spoiler video, by the way. It reminded me of Rise of the Silver Surfer because the same thing happened to Jessica Alba. Everyone thought she died there too.
Yeah.
Until she woke up again. But in this one, she actually did die.
See, the difference is that was made in the 2000s, right?
Yeah.
And you know that it was made in the 2000s. They can't kill off a character.
Not Jessica Alba.
We've got to believe this property drive, mate, before we even remotely think about killing off a character.
Yeah.
So,
I thought she played Sue Storm extremely well, and her chemistry with Pedro. What did you guys think about them as husband and wife?
it was a bit convincing, right?
Yeah, I was very convinced.
Convincing to the point where it makes you wonder whether the studios actually said beforehand when they were about to cast them, guys, look, for us to offer you guys the parts, we really need to be convinced.
Yeah.
On and off camera, you guys need to absolutely exude some kind of good chemistry.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine if this did not go well, like flip it on its head, right? And if they hated each other, couldn't stand working with each other, but just did it from a professional point of view, you could almost tell that there would be no such thing as a sequel. There'd be no such thing as let's reduce the amount of time. And for the third time, you've got this one property that we're gonna have to reboot.
Again.
We're gonna have to be knocking on the door of Emily Blunt and John Krasinski offering a bag of money.
Please.
You've got to come in from the 616.
Yeah.
So we can just reset this whole thing again.
Yeah. No, good points. Yes, I think they both worked pretty well.
really good.
Yeah. Anything else on Vanessa Kirby? She pretty good.
No, I think
She was amazing. That scene when she was giving birth, drew that chase with the with Silver Surfer, I thought was amazing too. But
Yeah. She acted the crap out of the movie.
she acted the crap out of the film.
Yeah, even the speeches, like they gave her the moments.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah, like, she had a lot of big moments. I think she handled it really well.
Which makes it weird when you think about the relationship that she has to have with Namor further down.
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
Oh, you don't even know if I know.
Namor has a huge crush on Sue Storm, and it gets interesting.
Definitely interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, cool. Well, let's move on to Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch.
Yeah.
What you guys edit about him?
I can't remember. I think it was you that said to Robbie after the first time we saw it was good to see the character of Johnny Storm not played as some kind of comical.
Yeah.
That's true. There was a bit of intelligence to his character. He figured out the language barrier and portion of these, but he wasn't just the. And I hate to say it, he wasn't the Chris Evans. But
He really will. Yeah, I'm sure Chris Evans has come a long way.
he's come a long way since not another teen movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically,
Exactly. Yeah, that's the role. That's the exact role he played for Human Torch the first time. It was the teen movie sort of
Yeah.
playboy. Like I just want to have fun. I want to go break things in. and fly. And,
It did seem like he was maybe a slightly dialed down version of the character that played Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, he was in Stranger Things. Yeah, Eddie. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
And you know, he played this character called Eddie. He was a bit of an outcast. He was a bit of a loose unit. But this was like a slightly more serious tone, but at the same time, I mean, the character of Johnny Storm is a fairly free-loving kind of, you know, easygoing guy. He's friends with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
He has that kind of relationship dynamic with Ben Grimm.
Yes.
I'm glad, again, they didn't fall into the gimmick line of it just being some kind of comedy duo scenario.
Yep.
So I thought he was really good.
Yeah, I like the fact that he played the intelligence so well that I would believe someone like Johnny Storm could be an astronaut.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. But looking back at Chris Evans, could this guy be that smart to be able to pass whatever he needed to pass to become an astronaut or not?
I think he was on that ship because he could ride a motorbike, right? Like it was because he was a daredevil.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, that's right.
That was the qualification to becoming an astronaut.
We need to watch that again. Fantastic Four.
Take my kid brother to work.
Yeah.
No, they just happen to be wireless stuff. Yeah.
Well, I guess nowadays anyone can get a ticket to space, right? Like
I guess if you got the money, like $500,000. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I liked about Jesse Quinn's portrayal of he made it believable that he's intelligent enough to be able to be alongside these other geniuses. Yeah, and I really liked. Were you guys missing the whole hothead type of personality of Johnny Storm, or even the more flirtatious womanizer that he is in the comic books and in the previous films as well?
Yeah, you know, there are different versions of the Human Torch that have been written over the comic kind of lifeline of the Human Torch, right? We're going back to the original Human Torch, and then we keep going into these other iterations of Johnny Storm, and then there's the Ultimate Universe version of Johnny Storm, and you know, there's always been this common thread of like, easygoing, free lump, kind of popular with the ladies. That's the tone. And they don't exactly go down that line, but they don't exactly walk away from it. No, right. There was this whole thing of, there are those scenes in the movie where it's Sue saying that his brother's sing. Oh, then they touch on it, but it's not the core of his character, which I think was the key to this. Yeah, right. Getting a bit of a refreshed approach to it.
And I think I like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's still there because he says, no, the Johnny Storm who loves the lady.
Yeah, she loves lady.
That's right. And I think they allude to it without having to show that too much. And I think that was fine.
Yeah, they do little bits, like him sort of teasing Ben Grimm with the toys.
Yeah.
And go, what's that little thing? What time in the bed? He does add levity and fun.
Yeah.
But there's a seriousness to him, and they sort of, once again, they sort of dart him down a notch to just live in the actual world.
Yeah.
A bit better.
It was more believable, I think. Yeah, cool. And then Ebon Moss-Baccarat, who plays the Thing.
Yeah.
What you guys think of him?
I mean, and I don't mean any offense, but when I think of the Thing, I actually think of Michael Chiklis.
Yeah.
I can't help it. Quite iconic, right?
Yeah,
I mean, because it was probably the first time. We're not counting the first unofficial. No, we're probably that this character that looks that way, that is that kind of size, that kind of thing, and it's memorable. Guaranteed, no one can really remember the Josh Trank version.
No.
Yeah, I don't even know who played.
I don't know at all.
Yeah, starting, the first scene of where you get introduced to the Thing, it was just a mound of rubble.
Yes.
In the lab, basically, in the army base lab, and
He was naked.
yeah,
he's a naked.
You just kind of go, okay. Yeah. But I thought this is, again, it was like, and we keep kind of saying, coming back to it, it's like, I'm really glad they didn't play the gimmick card.
Yeah, 100%.
The Ben Grimm that you saw in this movie, he's dressed, he's a New York guy.
Yeah.
He's walking the streets, he's doing shopping, yes, wearing a trench coat with a hat.
He's Jewish as well, which is true to the comic.
Like that is a really true representation of the character in books.
Yeah.
As opposed to
He's aged in on Friday. He's got a nice And is there?
It was a nice touch.
It worked.
I'm
They bought it. Yeah.
Spreading apart.
Yes.
Oh, look, that cost That cost 20 million in special effects.
Yeah. In rendering.
What they?
Yeah, I really liked Ben Grimm. I think he played like even the voice and the way that the tenderness of him
Yeah.
as a thing was really, really good. But you also see bits where he does feel a bit. You can feel for him a little bit, right? Like he's different. He's the only one who came out looking different.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't play that in a lot in the film, like they did maybe with the Jessica Alba version of Michael Chiklis' version. But there were moments there where you can see him looking at the reflection.
Yeah. Sort of linger on it a little bit.
Yeah. Do you think that was enough for us to know what he was feeling?
Yeah, I think if you introduce that as another element into the storyline, again, you're just complicating. You're kind of not, and I don't want to say taking away, but you're kind of distracting from the primary storyline of here's this thing that's about to destroy the earth. Here's this family dynamic. How does one solve the other? And if you start going into this thing of like, back, and we keep kind of reverting back to the original Fantastic Four film of where he blames Reed to a certain degree. There's this kind of tension in that relation. I mean, you're just kind of adding more for adding more.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to strip all that back so that the consumer or the person that's just watching this film can literally just go in there and go, bad guy, good guys. And that's the story.
It's more accessible for everyone.
You're right. It was almost primarily an A plot movie. There's no sort of B plot, C plot. Like
that's right.
Like
I mean, you could go
That's
into
twist, yeah.
You could go into the sequel. You could pull this apart, right? You could very easily write the next 2-3 films and go, what's going on between Sue and Namor? What's going on between Reed and Ben? What's going on between Johnny not wanting to be tied down to the family, but to explore his own thing because he's a young guy, all that kind of, and you can explore that.
Yep.
But the first film to relaunch this property into the modern day kind of cinematic universe, you've got to keep this thing like sharp.
Yep. I agree, and I think that's what made this film really, really good.
Yeah.
Like you didn't have a lot of D or E subplots.
Yeah, you really
to think about, but they just hinted enough to know that he's thinking about it, and that we know he's thinking about it, and then we can just move on.
Yeah. And I think that, to me, the whole underplaying it, you just show moments of where it's basically that there's depth in the character.
Yeah.
We're not going to dwell on it because there's bigger things happening. Which is also interesting because usually I like that sort of deepening the characters and really getting to dig into them a bit and sort of pull them apart a bit or challenge their identities or whatever. And it feels like none of these four were worth so much, but it still worked.
It still worked.
Like you said, they just told a really big story. They're really interesting.
Simple.
Yeah.
Let's move quickly to some of the villains. Julia Garner as Silver Surfer, and then Ron McManus as Galactus.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Thoughts on those two?
I mean, IMAX did a lot of the heavy lifting on Galactus.
Yeah.
The
visual effects team did
insanely good.
pretty good work.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched it in IMAX originally, which gave Galactus his I guess how big he was.
It's got that the Y axis that really shows you that height and
you saw all of him, right? And then when we watched it in Hoyts at Extreme Screen, it didn't have the same gravitas as IMAX. He was big, but it was just like, I don't know.
Did you cut off or?
I think it cut off some of his.
Well, they probably cut off. Yeah,
I don't think the aspect ratio even. You know how sometimes in films.
It changes.
It changes the black bars disappearing. You can see more. I don't think they even did that in this.
Yeah,
in the theatrical sort of.
The Y-axis really fills your vision, and before his eyes light up, it's the characters are tiny.
Yeah,
and then you see the eyes and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, which shows how big he was.
Yeah.
I mean, we had some friends who came to watch it on Thursday with us. I think it was Doug who said, "I thought he was bigger."
Oh, really?
Yeah. When he was sort of walking up. Yeah. And you're like, hang on. He was bigger though, like when we watched it at IMAX. But I think I think how they did Galactus was
top notch. I mean, that is clearly one of the standouts of the film, right? Yeah, well, massive props to ILM, the studio that effectively did the visual effects.
yeah,
Amazing. And we were talking about this after we saw it the first time. Was every previous film iteration of the Fantastic Four either touched on it, mentioned it, noted on it, but never knew how to do it.
yeah.
Maybe it was a case of they just didn't have the technology to be able to do it at the time. But I mean, you look at the way that character was rendered and portrayed, and the voice acting on him, like it really did add, like to a certain degree, scale
Yeah.
to him, right? And it was just like, okay, that actually makes sense.
Yep.
For him to be a big bad guy,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome. What do you guys think about like his motivation and
Yeah, like
his whole like what do you think about Galactus's arc and him wanting to, I guess, steal the baby?
yeah, and then once again, it's just 2 lines or something.
Yeah.
Like, I want this baby because I don't want to hunger anymore. Like, I just like it was almost that sort of tired resignation of I don't want this life. I don't like. I've got all this power, all this like I I'm Galactus, but I don't want it. I just want to not be hungry anymore.
Yeah.
And that's really like to boil it down to 2 lines and nail the delivery of it. Was really well done. I like that.
Yeah, really good. And Silver Surfer, Julia Garner, Shella Bal, not Norrin Rad. As a lot of fanboys were.
She choice. Because you could have easily gone through the non-rad Silver's version,
Much well known, much more.
which is a much forward way, but perhaps there's method to the madness of as to why they made that. So
I think it was good that it was Shella Bal's Silver Surfer because it gives Johnny Storm a connection more true to his character of someone who like he thinks she's pretty, and so he has this connection with her already. I wonder whether that would be the same if it was non-Ray, or would another character take that kind of place for Johnny Storm. So I think maybe she played her part.
I mean, that dynamic already played itself out with the Jessica Alba version of it, right?
That's right.
So basically flip that, but you couldn't add that to this because you've got so many different things going on. You've got the Reed and Sue complex, then to have the Sue and the Silver Surfer non-rad version, if they would have did, there's too many things going on there. It's like, oh, hang on a second. Now you've just got basically a B class level of support characters that have their own. They're kind of there, but they don't really have their own storyline.
You don't need it's complicated.
Yeah. This gave him a solid purpose to be in that film. So
Yeah, I like how. I mean, I guess part of the theme of the movie is what you do to sacrifice for Google and to sacrifice for your child. And I guess maybe females generally code that they're more empathetic, especially for younger kids. So I guess that telling this backstory to Shalabal as I'm going to give up my life to sacrifice for my child.
Yeah.
That might have laid better for that emotional connection.
Although that being said, I'm surprised they just didn't mention Northern Rat. They did the flashback, right? It's like, oh, something.
And they're married. Norrin Rad and Shella Bal.
And you kind of thought, I would have thought they would have slipped that in there.
They could have, they
Just to please the fans a little bit.
Layer and Easter egg, and that's maybe something that we haven't touched on yet, is the litany of Easter eggs that have kind of scattered through this movie. So
yeah. No, it's good. The cast was really well done. Let's talk about maybe the plot and maybe and we've talked about a lot of the good stuff about it. And were there any sort of negatives that you guys found in the movie when you were watching it?
It's so funny. I feel like it's a pretty thin plot, and the characters aren't too sort of like you don't go too in depth with any of the characters. And the big bad is sort of fairly light on too. You don't see him as in depth as like the great big bad, like either Thanos or the Joker. Like,
Yeah.
there's really, really good story that I love. A really good crafted villain. They sort of didn't really tick any of those boxes for me in any strong, at any high level. But for some reason it worked.
Yeah.
I was like, I still really, really enjoyed the film, despite those things being pretty thin.
Yeah. You just think.
Yeah.
I thought the CGI baby was a bit.
Oh, no, yeah, it was. That was a miss. No, that was a miss. And there were certain scenes in there, you know, when the fantastic car was coming down and they get, you know, and there's just certain animated movements that you just went, well, all the budget's gone into Galactus, and
Yes.
this will do.
SSF.
So that was a clear note, but
Yeah.
you kind of have to watch these movies without the critical glasses on, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And you just have to,
Especially with CGI.
especially with CG, you just have to enjoy it. Otherwise, you're constantly going to get in front of yourself,
That's true.
and you'll never enjoy any film.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of just accept it. And I think and it's kind of like what Robbie was saying. There was no real richness and depth to Galactus.
No.
Right? You're just talking about a big guy that was hungry.
Yeah.
And effectively, we've just said, you can't eat this kid.
Yeah. And he just took the thought out. Well, that's what it boils down. And the last battle is basically just taking a walk down.
Yeah. Well, down the street.
Yeah.
Fifth Avenue. And basically, we're saying, you can't eat this baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of, that's the plot. Yeah, plot summary.
Pretty much it. Yeah. I think we've just summed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys feel maybe in Act 2, we opened it up pretty with a montage.
Yeah.
That sold it for me. Like, I bought into the film at the moment, and then obviously the amazing chase scene with
Yeah, that was
Silver Surfer.
mainly. She does more surfing than I think any other surfer has done ever. In any of the other movies.
Which was cool though, right?
Yeah.
Like surfing through a wormhole,
Yeah,
surfing through the lava,
Oh,
Yeah, I think the whole sequence was so well done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you guys feel maybe a little bit of a lull in the middle of the film, like in the second act before we got to Galactus's?
I know what you mean in terms of, like, you're just waiting.
Yeah.
You're waiting to get to the third act.
Yes.
With the final outcome. But in some ways, I think you have to have that in films.
Yeah.
You can't just be racing from a quick montage as the third act being the final conclusion, the final epic battle, the peak of the movie, and then the second being up there as well, because you're essentially going through viewer fatigue.
Yeah.
And you're just like this, you're just redlining all the way through that film. But you have to have this drop off to the point where the characters, there's contemplation, and then there's this learning curve, and there's sort of to that point of realization, and then the point of realization turns into resolution. It's like every great storyteller and every good comic book, the way that it's written, you know, we're talking about arcs that last anywhere between, could be 4 issues to 12 issues.
Yeah, that's right.
Somewhere around between issue number 4 and issue number 10, you're like, should I renew the subscription? Do I keep like buying this book?
Yeah.
And then in the last, you just go, well, I'm already, you know, I'm gonna finish this thing off. Sunk cost.
Yeah.
So there's always gonna be that when it comes to stories, and it's the best. The best stories are the ones that they can still keep you there, although it feels maybe a bit slow or a bit low.
Yeah.
But they still keep you interested, and they keep going. Oh, okay, I wonder like how that might play out, or I wonder if this character might have something. And there was that great kind of turning point where, towards the end, Act 3, right? We're talking about Johnny Storm. Galactus is about to come out of a wormhole, and he's saying, look at the watch, and he's like, tell Frank that his uncle loves him. And you really did think. I think at one point, I completely forgot about this episode.
Yeah, right.
There was enough space and time between her last appearance in the film to then the point where you kind of, he might actually, he might die. And then for everybody that knows, everyone that knows the comics and has kept an eye, knows that he's died.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Wait, what I was gonna reference was anyone who thinks I shouldn't measure spoil Stranger Things. I will.
Oh yes,
that.
yeah. Stranger Things, same thing, all right? But it's like, oh, I'll make it not a spoiler anymore. But in the comic books, he dies. It's like we've now reached a point in our storytelling, especially in comic books, characters can die.
Yes.
Yep, it's fair game. Characters can die, which is great.
Also, yeah.
In what days? Because then you've now gotten to the point where you're now starting to think about, well, maybe he might. Yeah, maybe he's really going to save, but like Franklin, like he's going to zoom out. I said, yep. And that really only came about. And there's a conspiracy theory behind it, right?
Right.
That this whole turn of storytelling where you don't expect that started with Game of Thrones.
Yeah. That's the big one.
That's fair.
And it was one of those things that it was just like, oh no, he's like, oh, you just chopped his head off.
Yeah, that's right.
It started, and then it got this point of like, I didn't expect it. I totally didn't understand. Like, I wasn't expecting. Like, I've got to watch the next, and everyone's kind of jumped on that bandwagon a little bit, which maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. No, I thought, yeah, that was really, really, really well done. What about Franklin Richards? He played a pretty important plot device for the film, and
Avatar.
yeah, Avatar. And he also, I mean, we saw some of his powers of resurrecting Sue Storm.
He's a huge character to introduce into the MCU.
Massive. If not the most powerful being now in the MCU, would you agree?
Yeah, I guess he theoretically could be up there with Celestial, sort of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we're talking Eternals, right?
Yeah,
Here we go.
Yeah.
Bring them back.
Yeah. Let's bring the Eternals back. We love it.
Back there, Bill. Speaking of Eternal, I do think actually the cinematography was at the Eternal sort of level, but anyway.
Yeah,
go on. Yeah.
It's interesting, and for everybody that doesn't know the rich history behind it, you know, they talk about Franklin being on par as being celestial-like. He's powerful, Omega, right up there. Yeah. And it's interesting that they've introduced this early.
Oh yeah.
It's in the introduction of the Fantastic Four, because you would think that there'd be time to kind of play out the classic kind of battles that Fantastic Four, but nah, we're rigging it again.
Yeah.
Get some ballsy.
Next film, you're gonna have to bring in Valeria.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
After that, maybe one of them gets, and you introduce She-Hulk.
Yeah. Or Spider-Man, or whichever other member of the Avengers joins the Future Foundation. Yeah, I think Franklin was used appropriately, and I think it was enough for us to be teased for Avengers Doomsday, which I guess leads us into the end credits scene.
Yes.
With Doctor Doom. What do you guys think about that end credit scene?
It was interesting because so the first time we watched it, I was waiting for the Thunderbolts moment to happen in the movie.
Okay, yeah. You haven't watched the Thunderbolts.
I'm not up to date.
Sorry.
No.
Hey, it's
I didn't know what's happening.
Yeah, where they cross over into 616. And to me, it was like, when's this going to happen? How are they going to push the Fantastic Four into that?
Right.
And they just never do it. And then the movie ended like, what, 1 hour 40 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah. So I think, it'd be really, really interesting to see how they tell that story of Doctor Doom already being in 838,
828, yeah.
and where they take it from there to again get the Fantastic Four into the 616.
Do you think that's the Doctor Doom from their universe? Or do you think it's a different Doctor Doom from another multiverse?
Well, if you think about it, if Doctor Doom is from the 828, and we are the time gap between the end of the movie was 4 years to when that scene was actually then kind of portrayed.
Yeah.
It would mean that Doctor Doom's presence was really only kind of found or noted in that 4 years. Because leading up to it, you would think that there's this earth-shattering moment where there's this Galactus guy that's going to come and devour the world. At some point, you would have heard, seen, noted somewhere the presence of Victor Von Doom.
Well, we did see that Latveria sign.
Latveria, yeah.
So you said it, but you wasn't there though.
But he wasn't
there. Yeah.
So you do wonder. I think he's from the 828.
Yeah.
You think that he's known around that. Then again, when we're talking about multi-worlds,
Yeah.
you're picking the hairs.
Yeah.
In terms of like, is he from that word, whatever. And I'm sure that this has been mapped down, right, to the nth degree.
Absolutely.
Obviously done masterfully by the Russo brothers.
Yeah.
But you kind of go, and I'm always felt this way about whether that's a Marvel property or DC property, right? They both have, and we've talked about this previously.
Yeah.
They both have this get out of jail card.
Yeah.
And it is the multiverse / Crisis on Infinite.
The ultimate reset.
Yeah, just say that they're from a different world.
Yes. Yeah.
And that is such an easy cop out. That is such an easy way to get over this. And I just hope that as this journey goes through this next kind of phase, through to Doomsday and all that kind of stuff, that there is some logical thinking behind this.
Yeah.
And not just an easy let's reset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting to see where it goes from.
It really will be. I do wonder if Doomsday will tell a little bit of the story of what happened in that 4 years for Doom, especially how he went from understanding there's a Galactus to going, what can I do with?
Do you think they need to connect everything back even further than that into Endgame, Infinity? Or like, do you think that there needs to be some kind of connection back there? Or can they just go, no, this is like the starting point for new storytelling, new kind of... We're not going to ignore it. We're not going to reject it, but we're just not going to kind of keep going back there to tell a story about how there was a Thanos that tried to kind of... do we just leave that in the past? Okay, that's there.
I did hear some sort of rumors about them. There's a connection to Tony Stark dying in Endgame. Okay, that connects to him being Doctor Doom in this.
Right, really?
Yeah. So I think there might be some sort of explanation. I don't know why exactly, but I feel like there might be some.
Well, you would think that there would have to be a pretty good explanation, because if you were just a normal moviegoer that didn't really dig into the comic books, that didn't really dig into the lore of what happens in these multi-universes and stuff, you would be going to this film next year or the year after that, and you'd be going, he died.
That's right.
And you would have to come up with a really simple, easy way of explaining, hang on a second.
Yeah.
There's another world.
Yeah.
And he looks the same. He maybe is the same. Or maybe there was the trigger point and then there was a ripple effect, all this kind of stuff. But you'd have to do it in such a way that you could explain it easily.
Yeah,
That's true.
I agree. Yeah. True. Yeah, very interesting. What would you guys rank this film out of 10? We should rank it.
Rank it. But before you rank that, you've got to rank another film.
Okay, to give context, right?
Context.
We were talking about this.
Yeah, so you got to give it context. Otherwise, you could be all over the place.
Like rank the best one, and then the worst one.
Ooh.
So I think universally we would probably all agree that Infinity War or Endgame is right. It's up there.
It is.
Infinity War Endgame 9.5 out of 10.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that's the varying point for the top end.
Yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home up there as well for me.
I was thinking, because I remember talking about this, and I was thinking, man, is putting Fantastic Four a bit too high in where I've got it in my head. Then I was thinking about it. Oh man, Marvel actually has a lot of really, really good.
Okay, so start rolling off the nines for you.
Yeah, as we go through our rewatch.
Yeah, like there's some really good.
Winter Soldier. With
you put it?
Oh, absolutely.
What tools? I'm joking.
So Winter Soldier, 100%. Yeah, is a really good one. Yeah, Infinity War, Endgame, Spider-Man,
Black Panther.
Yep.
The first one?
I don't know if I'm as high on that.
Oh, you know.
Nah. I love everything until the last fight.
With Killmonger.
Yeah,
Which is a cliff edge. Kind
which is like color swap and then like
Yeah.
sort of Gumby fighting. Yeah,
Yep.
I didn't like that as much.
Well, we just watched Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2.
Guardians.
You read it pretty highly.
Yeah, I really like them. They're probably in the 8.5.
Okay.
For me. Yeah.
Okay, and what about the lower echelon? The lower end of the scale?
Before we go, I'll do your one. What's your sort of top tier films?
I really enjoyed. I thought the first Black Panther was really good. I thought they approached it really, really sensitively, really intelligently. From cultural perspective, the acting was like fantastic. The movie direction by Kubrick was really good. The visuals were really good.
Yeah.
So that for me was right up there. Obviously with Infinity War and Endgame something like that, but that's probably at a topper end. You'd probably if you go through, maybe not so much the Iron Men. Series, Captain America. Yeah, Civil War was up there. Civil Wars. I thought that was quite intelligent. Yeah, and the way that character got played off. Then, I mean, what else are we talking about? I probably don't rate as highly Guardians.
Yeah, interesting.
Probably not as much. Do I rate the Thors? Probably not as much.
Ragnarok, yeah. Ragnarok is definitely out there for me.
Like, I think, and I don't know if this is a case of where you just kind of got a little too much of the same.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And it is time to kind of change that property up and 100% change it over. I thought, No Way Home, and they've done a really great job with that. No Way Home. I mean, how can you drop the bundle on probably the most kind of financially kind of rewarding property that Sega has?
That's true.
Like
There's Rob the Bundle and everything else.
Yeah. No. Craven the Hunter. Madam Web.
Oh, no. Yeah, you got to talk about the other end.
Morbius. Yeah. Oh gosh. Speaking of Thor, the Love and Thunder would be one of my lowest on my.
That'd be
It is down there,
Yeah.
along with Quantumania, I think.
Yeah, I think there's probably a few different things. There's movies that are down there because they're boring, or not very interesting, and then there's movies that like make me angry,
Okay.
and that's why they're down there. And yeah, so Love and Thunder is like
Black Widow.
going. Black Widow probably one of the boring camp. It's just it's a good movie, but
I like Black Widow.
it wasn't bad. I don't think I'd put it right down there. Yeah.
What about?
I don't like Multiverse of Madness. I really don't like Multiverse.
Oh really?
Probably in the annoying part for me.
I probably in the same boat as Robbie. Probably more so because I'm fighting against this 2000s era version of superhero movies. Right, talk about, and I know that he gets like, there's a lot of ups, and I'm sure that they're well deserved. But when you talk about Sam Raimi and the way that he does his sort, and I mean, people have asked me and hasn't, well, like, what do you mean? And then the end of the point to is the zoom up close ups.
Yes.
Accompanied by those music notes. It just zooms in on a certain thing, and you just go, "Come on, man!" Like,
Really?
yeah,
I really like that.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that sort of movie making.
It feels like you're going for something ironic now. Like it feels like
it was gimme
to me.
like him.
Oh, interesting. Try to do something that was done for this reason.
Yeah.
And people know.
Brave New World. That's on the lower end.
Yeah, Captain America Brave New World. That was not great. Okay, so at least we have an idea.
Yeah.
So Fantastic Four, where would you put that then?
Out of
Out of 10? Out of 10?
I think I'm still in the 8.5.
8.5. That's pretty high. Yeah, I would agree. I think I'll give it an 8.2.
just to differentiate. Just
I liked it a lot. Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic film. I would put it on par with maybe the Thunderbolts. I really like the Thunderbolts too.
okay.
Just referred it to the Thunderbolts.
You prefer it to the Thunderbolts?
Yeah, the Thunderbolts have a few holes
Okay, sure.
for me where I go, that could have been a bit smarter or
Oh, yes.
written.
Yeah, Valentine.
The turn to the entry was a bit quick. So the little thing like that where I go, the storytelling, I would have loved if there was just a few more
Got you.
gets in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Whereas Fantastic Four, it's a weird one. I don't know why I rate it so high. Because, yeah, like I say, plot, villain, characters, the hierarchy is. It's almost like the Maverick sort of energy.
Ah, yeah.
Where they don't even have a villain.
Yeah, the Russians.
They don't. Yeah, they don't even try.
Yeah.
But it's just that. Yeah, it's just the emotional connection, the way they tell the story, and maybe I just really enjoy how like downplayed it is, but
Yeah.
honest it is. Yeah. Okay, really like.
What would you rate it?
I'd probably give it a 7.5.
7.5? Yep.
Yeah, I mean the lowest I'd probably give it is probably a 7. The highest I'd give it is probably an 8. And the reason why is because if I saw it a second time, I wonder if I would still have that freedom of watching the movie without having to think about the movie.
Yeah.
True.
Or would I watch it at the same time and then be like, "Hey, on that
You start picking it apart.
yeah, that kind of thing." And I think that's where sometimes you kind of you're not doing yourself a favor by coming through every detail. You watch it and you accept it for what it is, and you just kind of go away. And I think, oh, that was fun,
Yeah.
There's like a return to movies where you kind of didn't leave going, man, that sucked. Up 2 hours. I think that was a waste.
Yeah.
Gotta get them. I'm gonna get that time that.
Yeah. I must say I do really enjoy that whole picking a movie apart. Watching second time and going, wow, I can guys this. Yeah, I really enjoy that, but I feel like Fantastic Four didn't have heaps of that, which is also interesting.
Yeah. Oh, good. Just a few more last thing. Any Easter eggs that you guys? There was a whole bunch of villains that were mentioned that we didn't get to see.
Yeah. There was the villains being mentioned. There was the and I'm pretty sure there was this ode to Kirby and Lee.
Yes.
There was that scene where they're flying through the cityscape and they go through essentially the office.
Oh, really?
They were drawing.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Like, I'm pretty sure there was the whole streetscape in every superhero film whenever they're on kind of in city metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
Just look at the street signs, look at the store names, all that kind of stuff. That's all there. But apart from that, there wasn't too many other ones, I don't think.
Yeah, there was just a mention of like the Puppet Master, the Abelo.
Yes.
Are you Red Ghost?
A few that he was pointing out when he solved crime.
That's right. Yeah, the Matt Thinker would have been cool to see. I mean, we did see the Red Ghost, one of Red Ghosts.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Howard Monkeys, but
Yeah.
we didn't get to see him at all. Yeah, I can't pick. The original Fantastic Four from the unreleased Teaser movie.
They were, yeah.
They were in there saying it. Thank you. We love you, Fantastic Four. In one of those scenes, I think they were.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's a deep cut though.
Yeah, good help.
Super deep, right? This will be interesting now how they play it off in the following, because they will be following Fantastic Four films. You're talking about 200 mil budget.
Yep.
23 million opening day or something. Yeah, on track for about 110 in the weekend. So that's on track.
It's going to do well.
It's going to do well. Now that they've set the bar on like if you think about the villains, right? You've got Galactus up there. You've got power level of Silver Surfer and all these kind of guys, and then you've got the power level of Mole Man.
Mole Man. I forgot about him too.
It'll be interesting to see who they start bringing into that Fantastic Four, specifically that world.
Yeah.
And who will they kind of introduce? Because it's got to be someone at
that level.
that level, right?
Yeah,
Because otherwise it's just going to be like...
I can think of one. Annihilus.
Oh, that's true.
Annihilation. That'll be really cool. Yep. That'll be really huge.
Negative Zone type of stuff. And I think that's very up Fantastic Four's alley.
Surely there's got to be this angle into the Skrulls.
Yeah.
Do that properly. That was a wasted opportunity. You've got the connection into Agatha Harkness.
Oh yeah, as the babysitter of.
You got all these multiple angles that maybe you might be able to, play around with.
I guess we'll see
We will definitely see. Actually, one thing I do, just thinking about it, maybe part of me gives it such a high rating too, because of the Star Trekness of it all.
Oh yeah.
Like there's the sci-fi, like there's so much. But faster light travel. There's like wormholes, which is interesting. Go to warp. There's the lasers that can shoot at faster than light. There's tractor beams. It's really good. Really
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, fellas, thanks for joining me on this review and discussion. It was a lot of fun.
was.
It's good to have you on our show, though. Yeah. We're good to get you to come back for another one. Or do a rewatch with us or something like that.
And all those hours of reading comic books, it pays off.
It's paying off. It's paying off.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in, and hit the like and subscribe, and comment below what you think of Fantastic Four First Steps, and we'll see you in the next one, which won't be for a while. Spider-Man Brand New Day is the next movie, unless we really want to talk about Ironheart.
Yeah, or any of the other Daredevil. There's a few TV things going on, right?
Yeah, Eyes of Wakanda comes out next in end of August, which is a 4-part animated series. So yeah, cool. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.